Hello and welcome to Fitness Base. Making this video today because I came across a study that I want to share some love on because it tackles a really important issue and one that comes up all the time when people are talking about weight loss and diets. And that is which macronutrient is best for losing weight, fat, protein, or carbohydrates. All the time people come up to me saying, hey Ryan, should I be avoiding carbs? Should I eat no fat, high protein? Everything under the sun. And there are a million diets out there that will tell you, oh, eat this macronutrient, avoid this one, you need this macro split. And oftentimes they'll explain it in a way that makes sense. They'll have like a cute little infographic. Be like, hey, that makes sense. I'm going to go with this diet. I'm going to pay this person money so I can get on their routine. But that's what this study tackles. And it's really important to understand that just because something makes sense on paper doesn't mean it's going to make sense within the context of the human body. Our bodies are beautifully complex, and it's the same reason why just because a drug works on a rat doesn't mean you can then go put it on the shelves for human use. So the study is titled Comparison of Weight Loss Diets of Different Compositions of Fat, Protein, and Carbohydrates. It's by Sachs et al. And was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. So I'm reading from the abstract here. I'd highly recommend going in and reading the whole study. I'll put a link below. I'll briefly go over the abstract. So the background. The possible advantage for weight loss of a diet that emphasizes protein, fat, or carbohydrates has not been established, and there are few studies that extend beyond 1 year. So what they did was they assigned 811 overweight adults to one of 4 diets with varying macronutrient profiles, basically varying amounts of carbs, protein, and fat that made up their diets. They had them on these diets for 2 years. To give you some perspective, one of the diets had 65% of the calories coming from carbohydrates. One of the diets had a 35% of calories coming from carbohydrates. So a pretty good variation between the diets. So we're going to get a good picture of what comes out ahead. What is the best nutrient for weight loss? The conclusion? Reduced calorie diets resulted in clinically meaningful weight loss regardless of which macronutrient they emphasized. So every group lost weight on their respective macronutrient splits, to which you might ask, okay, who lost the most weight? So I printed out a little graph from the study. This guy right here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but it breaks down the weight loss by macronutrient, and it was relatively uniform. Protein came out slightly ahead. I suspect because of the thermic effect of protein, the amount of energy it takes to digest that protein is much higher than fat and carbohydrates. But nothing drastic as all these fad diets would lead you to believe. And that makes sense because we oftentimes forget that a calorie is just a unit of energy. Just like a milliliter is a unit of volume, a calorie is just a measure of energy. And one of the rules of energy is that it can never be created, it can never be destroyed, only transferred. So if you're transferring out more energy than you transfer in, naturally there will be less energy on your person, right? Makes sense. So when someone comes and tells me, hey, I'm at a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight, what's going on? My response is always, you're not at a calorie deficit. Why you're not at a calorie deficit is something we need to explore, but the bottom line is you're not. Also, I want to add that I didn't notice anything in this study that mentioned any kind of workout regimen or supplements they were taking. And it is important to note you can expedite the process of weight loss. There are many strategies depending on what style of workouts you're doing, what kind of supplements you're taking. We'll go over that in more detail in future videos. Really, I just wanted to bring this up because all the time I get bombarded with all these new diets and hey, would this work? Would this work? It's not as nitty-gritty as you might think. You really need to be at a calorie deficit. It's important to have a healthy amount of fat, protein, and carbohydrates in your diet. But as this study showed, they all lost weight. On that note, hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, the link to the whole study is going to be below. And please subscribe, like the video, and I also want you to leave a comment below with any question for my next video. It can be on weight training, fat loss, cardiorespiratory endurance, whatever the case is. I'll make a video addressing it. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Stay fit and don't curl in the squat rack.